Hey y'all, welcome to the Crafty Cove. Today is the 5th of the month and that can mean only one thing. It is time for our 5 under $5 DIY challenge. I am so excited for this month. Our theme this month is Spring Fling. We're going to talk about that in just a little while, but for now, let's get right into it. Okay, DIY number 1. So for this DIY, you're going to need 2 of the planters, the galvanized planters from the Dollar Tree. First thing I do is 2 good coats of Waverly white chalk paint on both of these. I cover the entire piece except for the inside, and I do not paint over the rope. After we've got those finished, we are going to let those dry, and we are then going to take these 2 glass vases, I believe they are, from the Dollar Tree. We're going to use hot glue just for YouTube purposes. I would suggest a better glue if you want a better hold on these. But we are just going to put hot glue on the bottoms of each of these vases and glue them right to the bottoms of the planters. Then we're going to take some burlap from the Dollar Tree, and we're just going to wrap it around the top of our planters there. And we're just gluing it on, y'all. Just a couple dabs of hot glue to glue it on. Then we're going to make a simple little bow. I just fold my ribbon over on top of itself and make some little loops on either side. I think I made 3 on either side on this bow. Then I cut off a long tail. I go ahead and bring that tail up, scrunch it along the bottom, and secure my bow with a zip tie. After we've got that zip tie on there nice and tight, we go ahead and cut off the excess of the zip tie, and then we're going to cut our tails in the middle, and then we're going to go ahead and dovetail those, glue them onto the front of our little lanterns here, and that's it. I think these turned out super cute. So it is spring fling time, but I decorate with farmhouse decor, so you're going to see a farmhouse theme in this also. DIY number 2. For this, we're going to take 4 of these little drawers from the Dollar Tree. We're going to remove the insides and only work with the outsides. We are also going to use this little candlestick, or candle holder, sorry. The first thing we're going to do is take those 4 outside pieces, and we are going to paint them completely with 1 coat of Waverly white chalk paint. I do the insides, outsides, fronts, backs, all the way around on these, and again we do that to all 4 pieces. Next, we're going to take 2 of these boxes and we are going to glue them together. Again, just using hot glue for YouTube purposes, but if you want, you can use a stronger glue, but these seem to do great for me right now. So we're gluing 2 together, and then we'll glue the other 2 together. Same exact thing, just a little bit of hot glue and glue them right together. After that, we're going to glue the 2 stacks together. So we're putting 1 stack right on top of the other stack. We're making a little nesting box is what I'm calling it, a little chicken nesting box. So we get that on there, and then we're going to take some skewers from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to cut those down to size, and I'm going to outline the whole front of this piece with those skewers. Again, just cut them down to size. They're easy to use with scissors, and glue those all the way around our box. After that, we're going to take our candle holder, and we are going to paint this with 2 coats of Waverly white chalk paint. I wanted to find the taller ones, but I couldn't, so this is the one I came up with. After we've got 2 good coats of that on there, we're going to put our piece together. We're going to turn our candle holder. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We're going to take some brown chalk paint, and we're a little stencil brush from the Dollar Tree, and we're going to do a little bit of distressing on our candlestick and on our little nesting box. Now it's time to put it together. We turn our candle holder upside down, put some glue on the bottom, and just glue our piece on. Then I take some of the brown Spanish moss and just start gluing it into the 4 compartments there. After that, I take these eggs that I painted, plastic eggs from the Dollar Tree, glue those right in there, glue some more Spanish moss on the top, and that's it. I did add a little bow and a cotton pod, but I absolutely love how this turned out. I think it's so stinking cute. So again today, y'all, it is the 5 under 5 DIY challenge that my friend Emily from Charm Chic and I host every month. Our theme this month is Spring Fling, home decor, and more. We love bringing y'all this challenge. Emily is one of my great friends here on YouTube. I think so highly of her, and she is so talented. Thank you, Emily, for putting this on with me every month. It means more to me than you know. Every month we have a special guest host, and this month it's Mary Beth from MB Gray Designs. Mary Beth is also very talented. Y'all make sure you go check her out. I love to look at her DIYs and watch her videos. Now we're going to get right back into it. DIY number 3. We're going to take, I got 3 cartons of these gold plastic Easter eggs from the Dollar Tree, but I only end up using, there's 6 in each carton, but all together on this project, I only end up using 10, and the other 6 we used on another project. So the first thing we're going to do is take 8 of these, and we are going to go ahead and paint these with white Waverly chalk paint, 2 good coats all the way around. Next, we'll take 8 more and paint these with Territorial Beige paint from Folk Art. These look so realistic, y'all. After we get that finished, we're going to let those dry. We're going to take a 14-inch wire wreath and some of this brown moss from the Dollar Tree. And what we're going to do is I'm going to start tearing it apart a little bit, just so it's not in big, huge clumps. And we're going to figure out exactly how we want our moss to be in our wreath. I saw this on one of the Dollar Tree Facebook groups, and I loved it. So this is just my little take. After we figured out exactly how we want our moss, we're just going to glue it right down to the wire frame by putting glue onto the wire frame and holding our moss down. After we've got that glued completely around, and y'all, this sticks really well, so you have no worries with this not sticking. After we've got it all glued down, then we're going to give it a little haircut. Cut as much or as little as you want. This is your project. Make sure you make it your own. That's the fun part about crafting. After we've given our haircut, we're going to take our eggs and we're going to start laying them down and gluing them down. I'm doing a brown and then a white and then a brown and then a white. I end up using 10 eggs on this and just go all the way around. Here we are with all of our eggs on. Next, we are going to take the other wire wreath that we got, 14-inch. We're going to stick that on top of the eggs. Now we're going to take some cable ties, some zip ties, and at all of the cross pieces, we're going to put a zip tie, and we are going to tighten it down. Now, I think there's like 5 or 6 cross pieces. I do it at every single one of these on this outside, the outside 2 rings here. You can see the outside ring of the bottom and the outside ring of the top. After we get all of those on there, we'll cut off that excess. Make sure you get those good and tight. Then we're going to do the same exact thing on the inside ring. We're just going to put them at all the cross places again. It's 5 or 6 of these, I can't remember exactly. Tighten those up really tight and then cut off the excess. This holds these eggs and this moss perfectly. They are not going anywhere. Next, I take this sign that I got at Valentine's Day from the Dollar Tree. We're going to give it 3 good coats of Waverly white chalk paint on the entire side. Front, back, that little piece in the middle, sides, everywhere gets 3 good coats. Then we're going to take a little decal that I made on my Cricut that says Farm Fresh with a little chicken in the middle and stick that right on the top. Then I take one that says 25 cents on one side of that little piece that turns, and on the other I put one that says eggs. After we've got those finished, we're going to take some twine and put it through the little holes on the sign, and we are just going to tie our sign to our wreath exactly where we want it. This was so simple and was about a $5 project, and you will not find a wreath of this caliber, I don't think, anywhere for $5. After that, we're just going to make a bow just like we made our bow on the last one. On our little lanterns. We're just going to fold our ribbon over on itself, put some little poofs on either side. I think I end up using doing 4 loops on either side of our middle here on this bow because I wanted this one to be just a little bigger. After we get that finished, cut off our tail, pull it up to the top, go ahead and secure this wreath with our zip tie, and then cut off the excess of the zip tie. And I was having a little trouble here the way I was trying to do this. I had to use my teeth to pull that. Then we're going to, of course, cut our tails right there in the middle and dovetail those. And then we're going to use a zip tie to put this on the wreath. That way I can change out the bow if I want for different holidays just by cutting that bow off and putting a new bow on. And this is how it turned out. Excuse me. I think this is my favorite project of this entire video. I could use this year round again just by changing out the bow there. I absolutely love how this turned out. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think. Now we're going to go on to DIY number 4. This is so simple but so super cute. So I used some of these styrofoam balls from the Dollar Tree, 6 come in a pack. I got this Easter egg ribbon from the Dollar Tree also, garland. And what I'm going to do is pull all of these Easter eggs off of the string. Next, we are going to use some green moss from the Dollar Tree. I put some on my plate and then I kind of like spread it apart. I try to break it up as much as I can, and it makes it so much easier to do this project if you do it this way. Then I take one of the styrofoam balls. I work in just little sections. I put some hot glue on, go ahead and roll it around in our moss, tap it down a little bit, pull off any excess, and then I go ahead and put the moss that's on the plate back in a pile, and we're going to do the same thing. We do this for 5 of these little balls, but I think I only end up using 4 of them. After we've got the moss balls finished, we're going to take some of this black and white check vinyl from the Dollar Tree and cover 3 of these Easter eggs. I know they're already checked, but I wanted them all to be cohesive and be the same color. And y'all know how I feel about my buffalo check in black and white. I absolutely love it. After we get that vinyl on there, we're just going to use our utility knife and cut around it just to get the perfect cut on these. This is so easy to do, and then it just pulls right off. Now, in order to make this another garland, we're going to take a skewer stick from the Dollar Tree and tape some of our twine from the Dollar Tree onto it. Now, this makes it so much easier. What we're going to do is stick that skewer stick straight through our foam ball. I thought this was just genius the way this worked, because I couldn't figure out another way to get these strung onto this string. After we stick it plumb through the ball, we're just going to pull it off of our skewer stick, and there it is. It ends up on our twine. After we've got all 5 of those on there, again, I remove one later, we're going to space them out the way that we want them. And between 2 of the moss balls, I go ahead and put one of the eggs. I just glue the twine down, and then I go ahead and use some masking tape to put on the back of that just to give it a better hold. Now I go back through later and cut off the excess masking tape. Now again, just space those moss balls out the way that you want them. Some hot glue, glue our twine down, a little bit of masking tape, and there we go. Here we are on our final egg. I just used 3 of these eggs. I didn't want this to be a huge garland, just something with a little bit of a statement. After we get that finished, we're going to go ahead and cut off that excess masking tape, like I said, with scissors and our utility knife. Then we're going to take some of these bottle brush carrots from the Dollar Tree, and we are going to take off the twine that is on there that is meant for hanging. I just cut it off. And then we're just going to glue one to each of the eggs in the center. I puff them out a little bit. I take a little bit of hot glue, secure the top, and then we go ahead and secure the bottom with more. We do that on all 3 of these eggs. After we've got that finished, we're going to tie knots in the ends of our garland. I tied 3 or 4 and then put a little dab of hot glue on our moss ball and slide it up so that it stays right there where I want it. We do the same thing on each side, so 2 different sides, 3 or 4 knots, a little bit of hot glue, and that's it, y'all. I think this turned out super cute and it goes so well with my farmhouse decor. Let me know what y'all think. Okay, and we've made it to the end, our last project, DIY number 5. For this, we're taking 4 of these picture frames from the Dollar Tree with the metal in the middle. We're going to take them completely apart and we're going to take off the clip. We're not going to use that, but we do save it in case we need it for another project. After we've got them all taken apart, we take the back part of the frames and we paint one side of them with this off-white multi-purpose folk art paint. Just one coat on all 4 of them. Next, we're going to take our actual frames and paint these completely with that same off-white from folk art. I paint the insides, the outsides, all the way. These picture frames get a complete coat of paint. And again, I do this on all 4 of the picture frames. Here I am just showing you where I'm getting a complete coat on all of them. Then I'm going to take 6 or 8 skewers from the Dollar Tree, cut off the tips, and then we're just going to kind of whitewash these. Just dip some paper towel in some of that off-white paint and just rub it over our skewers. Next, we're going to start putting our metal back onto our backing. So the way that I do that is just use some hot glue and I glue those right onto the backing, but I do it to the side that is not painted. You can see here what I'm doing, just a little bit of hot glue and glue those right on because they won't hold on their self anymore because we've taken away that clip that usually holds them on with the little screw. I do this to all 4 of these. Hot glue, stick it right on there. After we've got all 4 of those finished, we're going to put our frames back together. Just stick that right in there. And now we're going to take our skewers and make a little X. So I just put a skewer down, mark it, cut it. And these are so thin, they're so easy to cut, y'all. I am using some floral scissors from the Dollar Tree, but you could use regular scissors. After we've got it cut to size, we're going to glue it down, and then we will do the side pieces the exact same way. Mark, cut, and glue down. And we do this for all 4 of our picture frames. Super, super simple, but I love the look of this. We're making a little planter box for spring, but it can be used at any time of year. But for me right now, it's spring and I'm so ready for spring. After we've got all those X's put on there, we're going to glue 2 of our frames together. And we go ahead and glue a little popsicle stick on the back just for a little more added stability. We do the same exact thing with the other 2 frames. We glue those together and put another popsicle stick. Next, we're going to take 2 of these wood slats that I got from the Dollar Tree. I used a full one and then I cut another one down. I don't remember the exact size, but this is going to be the bottom. So you just put your little picture frames on there and measure what you need. And to cut these down, I just scored it 6 or 7 times with my utility knife and it snapped right apart. After we get that one cut down, we're going to glue these 2 together. I do put a little dab of hot glue on the edge and glue them, and then we go ahead and secure them with more popsicle sticks. After we've got that finished, we will start gluing 2 of our frames there, right down to the bottom. You will have to hold it a little while just to get it to sit right. Then we flip it around and do the other side as well, the exact same way. Next, I'm going to take 3 jumbo popsicle sticks and we're going to make our sides. We just cut them down to the size that we need, butt them all together, and then use smaller popsicle sticks. Y'all, I can't talk this morning. To secure these, just to hold them into place, hold them all together. You can see here what I'm doing better probably than what I'm telling you how I'm doing it. We do 2 of these, 1 for each side. After we've got those finished, we go ahead and just do a little coat of that off-white on there also, just so everything can have a cohesive look. Then we're just going to glue our sides right on. Same exact thing on each side, and that is it. So stinking cute. I love how this turned out. I just threw a windmill in there and some different greenery and different florals. I love how it turned out. Y'all let me know what you think about this one. I love that you can take it and switch it out for different holidays. So here is our final reveal of all 5 of our projects that we made, each project costing under $5. Thank you again to Emily and Mary Beth. I appreciate it. Y'all don't forget to check out our playlist. It gets better and better every single month. The talent of these crafters is just outstanding. Thanks for watching. Y'all come back now. You hear?